Yes, you are live on air. Go ahead. Good morning.
Hi, CP. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I just wanted to say that you're doing such a great job.
Thank you very much.
And I'm a Christian. Unfortunately, I married a Muslim.
Unfortunately, okay.
I just want to say how, if anyone's thinking about marrying a Muslim, how difficult it is,
Why you don't
it's a difficult life.
Why you don't let your husband speak to me so we can make him leave this cult?
I'd love that to happen, I'm praying about it, but you speak to Muslims all the time,
yeah.
And it's quite difficult because they don't want to listen.
Don't worry, I will make him listen. Don't worry, just leave just let him call me and leave the rest for me.
Right.
He will listen. You will see.
Yeah, I mean, the way you speak to people, you make them listen, and you talk so much sense that I just think it's amazing. We're so blessed to have you.
Thank you.
And you giving so much knowledge to the world, really. And before I had listened to you, I didn't have that much knowledge about Islam, but now I do, and I'm educating myself and my children.
That's wonderful.
As well, because I have children with him together, and I listened to someone that you spoke to once, another woman who had married a Muslim as well.
Yeah.
And your advice was to, educate yourself and educate your children. And that's what I'm trying to do, really.
Exactly.
Because, I agree with everything that you say. And it's only when, you live with these people that you realise exactly what Islam is.
Exactly, yeah.
So
is your kids now Christians?
Pardon?
Is your kids now Christians?
Well, I teach them Christianity, yeah, and I educate them, and my job as their mother is to give them the best advice I can as a Christian mother, really. End of the day, they will make their choices, but time will tell. But I'm doing the best I can, really.
Yeah. Well, this is what happened when you marry from a Muslim. You are bringing division to the family and a lot of risk.
Yes.
Because usually Muslims, they enforce their cult on others, and so if they enforce it on foreigners, what about their children? So he will try for sure to enforce his cult on his children because they are his children. And according to Islam, the children of a Muslim man, they are Muslims by birth. So you have to be careful, and you have to give them extra education so they will not be infected with such a disease. It's called Islam.
Yeah, no, I agree. And just what I really wanted to say was, to other women, because men can come across as being lovely and kind and loving and caring, and they will promise you the world. But like you said, in Islam, and they want you, as a Christian, you can follow your religion as a Christian woman, but they want their children to be Muslim. And a lot of women don't realize this when they come into a relationship, because they always say things like, oh yes, we believe in this, we believe in this, we believe in the Bible, Jesus is our prophet. But it's only later when you sort of go and understand everything that you realize exactly it's completely different, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just a deception.
Exactly. And I want to ask you how he, you married this Muslim man, and now how many years you are married? How many years?
A long time.
At
least 20 years.
Do you regret this marriage because he's a Muslim?
I can't say.
Okay, I understand.
I can't say this on.
I understand. It's all right. So, what
It's
do you advise women?
It's difficult.
What do you advise women? Do you advise women to marry a Muslim man?
If you're a Christian, no.
No. What if she's not a Christian? It's okay to marry a Muslim man?
Pardon, say that again?
I mean, what if a woman, she is a Hindu or atheist? Do you think she will have a successful marriage with the Muslim man?
No, it's a difficult life.
Difficult
because,
life. And I want to ask you, your husband is Middle Eastern?
No.
Okay, no. But he is from different country originally?
Yes.
Okay. How you know that he is not married in there and like 3 more women?
No, I know for sure that he's
not. I know a lady. I'm not trying to make you suspect. I know a lady who was married like you. She have kids from this man, and he go to vacation. He was Jordanian. He go to vacation to see his family. After 20 years, she found that he have 2 more wives living in Jordan, and the vacation he go to spend, it's to spend with his wives, not with his parents as he claimed. Almost 20 years like you. So after all those years, you discovered that he have a,
I think that thing could happen to someone. It's very, very possible because, people can be deceptive, men can be deceptive like that.
Yeah, but he's practicing his right.
You say that, they're allowed to do things like that, but
actually,
I don't think that's happened to me.
There's a Muslim website. There's a fatwa about a woman. She asked, maybe you can search for it. A woman, she asked the sheikh that my husband, he did marry me and he lied to me. He said to me that I'm the only wife, and later I discovered that he went to I think it was Jordan too. He went to Jordan and he married another woman. So what is the opinion of Islam about that? He said to her that first of all, you have no right to ask him that question. Secondly, he can lie to you because the Prophet, he said so. So you are marrying a man. He is allowed to cheat with 4 women because this is a cheating. This is not marriage. And by signing the contract, it's called marriage, if you can call it this way. You are agreeing that this person, he can share with you 3 more women, and you cannot question that. So why it will not? Why it will not happen to you? I don't know.
I know it's possible. It can happen to anybody. And like I said, my advice: don't do it.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. There's many other people out there, and just don't be deceived.
The world is full of millions of men.
Women's rights are quite difficult, and just being independent, and I have to fight for my rights. Fight for the rights of my children as well. You have to be a strong person.
Exactly.
To be married and strong in the Lord. Really strong in the Lord. But they will pick on people who they think that are vulnerable or easy targets. And we as Christians are quite loving people.
Exactly.
And sometimes that love can be a weakness, but it can be a strength as well.
Well, a strength after you learn and after you suffer, after etc., that will be your strength. That is going to be like too much pain, right?
It is. It's very painful. It can be very painful.
Yeah.
Yes. But there's so many other things that I want to talk to you. Maybe one day.
No problem.
I can get my husband to give you a call.
Sure.
The other thing that I wanted to ask you was, the Quran so well. What's your advice on sort of gaining all this information? Like, I'm trying to listen to you, and I'm trying to sort of understand everything and keep it in my brain. And what's the best way?
Best way to what?
Of that. Yeah, go on.
I lost you.
Hello?
Sorry. Yeah. Best way for what?
What's the best way of learning the Quran and being able to sort of defend Christianity like you do? You come up with all this knowledge, and how do you keep it all? What's the best way to learn?
Well, the best way to learn first is to read and check out let us say there's many sources of learning. Like when I was a kid, only reading, right? Today we have more, we are more lucky. Like now, you have somebody going live on air and he's reading for you, sharing information, which is going to take you maybe forever yourself to find it.
Yeah.
But after that point, you have to take notes, you have to read, you have to study more, so you can keep that information in your head, and then you can transform this information into something you use in your own way. It's like like you go to Home Depot in here USA, like it's a warehouse where people buy cement, concrete, wood. But Home Depot will not build a house for you. You buy just the material, right? So I provide you with the material, and then it's your duty to build your own house of information in the way which is fit with you and your ability.
Okay.
So you can have a beautiful house of knowledge, which always will be helpful for you in any topic you involve, because what we talk here about, not only about Islam, we talk about everything. So the more we know, the more we are capable of solving problems, and the more we are confident. Yeah.
And the last thing that I wanted to say was that I remember one of your callers once, Abbas, and he said, we're allowed to marry Christian women, and we're allowed to do this, and we treat our women well, and Abbas, that's not true.
Not true, absolutely.
It just isn't true. Even your own women are not kept well.
Even Aisha, she said, I never saw a suffering woman as much as a believing woman. Aisha herself.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
Aisha, the mother of the believers, as they call her, she is saying that nobody suffer as much as a Muslim woman, which means in this case she is a wife at the end of the day of a Muslim man. And the Quran, the book of Allah, allowed the Muslim men to beat their wife. This is how harsh this cult is, because if Islam is a good religion, will never allow the man to use his hand against his wife. You are not good with her. I mean, the divorce in Islam is so easy. Actually you can divorce women in Islam by text message. So if she is not good for you and Islam allow you to divorce her, why you want to use your hands to beat a woman, to make her obedience, as the Quran said, which means Islam using terrorism with women. So the first terrorism started in Islam is inside the house, indoor. There's indoor terrorism. The man, he beat the wife to make her obedience, and that is nothing but terrorism. So what is the purpose of terrorism? I scare you and then I subdued you.
Yes.
And this is
to put fear.
Yeah, they put fear in you, physical fear, mental fear, humiliation fear.
Everything is about control.
Exactly. But they use all kind of reasons, or let's say source of control, including violence with women. So if you are going to marry a Muslim man, you have to be ready that this person, his religion, is not being a bad if he did beat you. He is not being bad according to Islam if he humiliate you, if he jail you in your room. He is just practicing his right as a Muslim to beat you, for this is the teaching of Allah. And the Muslim, they try to make it nicer. They say first and second. This does not exist. First, the man, he can admonish you. How he admonish you? He scream in your face, this is his right. And then he can refuse to share bed with you. This is a Muslim translation. The fact it says, "Uhjuruhunna fil madaja." Madaja is your bedroom, not only the bed. So he will jail you in your room. He have many wives to sleep with them. So he will let you live like like a rat, and he will start sleeping with the rest of the women, and you will be felt like you are isolated. You are no one. He can do that for a year. He can do that for 2 years. It's up to him. And then if you want, he can go farther and he can beat you. And why is that? Because supposedly Allah is trying to make you subdued. How Allah will make you subdued without beating you? He cannot do that. He have to use violence, and women always, because they are weaker than men physically, usually, not always, you can beat them. But what if your wife, she is more powerful than you? Can you practice beating with the women? You cannot. She will beat the hell of you, right? So Muhammad is taking advantage of the weak physique of a woman, which is a shameful behavior, because a man who beat his wife is a coward man. A man who beat a woman, generally speaking, is a coward man. Because if you are really a man, you will never put your hand on a woman. And no matter what happened, you know, push her away. Even if she's trying to beat you, push her away, you know, but you don't beat her back because you are a man. And, you know, if you beat her, you might even kill her. So, stupidity and cowardness, they join together to trying to solve a problem. What is the problem? We are trying to make the women obedience. But if you make the woman obedient to you by beating her, do you think she love you more now or she hate you more? Do you think the kids? Do you think the kids will?
I mean, a lot of men don't beat. They use their superiority.
No, my friend,
really,
you live in the West, don't you? Don't you live in the West?
They feel it's that, you know, they are more superior. They have the right. They've been given the authority. You know.
But you live in the West, don't you? Don't you live in the West?
Yes.
Okay, and this is why he is not beating you. What about you go to Iran? There's a movie. It's called Not Without My Wife. Go and see what happened to the women. So if you live in their countries, then he will beat the hell of you. But now because you can call the police in the Middle East, if you call the police, says my husband beating me, the police will laugh at you. He says he has the right to beat you. He's not breaking the law.
Yes, of course.
No? Yeah.
Yeah. No, you hear about all these things, and yeah, it does happen. You're right. Yeah. You're absolutely right.
All right, my friend. Well, I hope you will be able soon to convince him to call me, so maybe we can change your life and his life for something better, and the whole family will be saved from such a cult. And I will be happy to talk to him in private as long as it takes. If you don't want to go live on air, I will be happy to talk to him in private.
Yeah, no. What do you think is a good way of trying to convince him to speak to you?
Well,
we've got to a stage where we don't really talk about religion anymore.
Well, you know, I don't know. You know your husband more than me for sure. I have no idea who's he, but maybe the best way is to show him that this person is really changing my mind about Islam, and it's your time to stand as a man. Don't you want to stand for him? Like, use his arrogance as a man to make him stand up to fight this guy, not physically for sure. Like, okay, I'm going to get this Christian prince busted for you. So what about you do that? Like, say to him, why you don't get him busted? You are the man. I'm sure you can answer him. I'm sure you are smarter than him. I'm sure you know way more than him. I think maybe he's lying. Don't you think so? So why you don't call him and let us see what will happen, and we go from there.
The problem is a lot of Muslims, that they don't actually know about their religion. They're probably quite fearful of contacting you.
Well, but you know, you have to find a way to make him encouraged to call me, and maybe because you know, usually Muslim men, they like to be called the lion of the house. Like, you are my lion, you know. Like, okay, we have a guy there, you can eat him alive. I want to see you doing that. You know, call him. So let us see how the lion will turn into a cat after he call me.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, my friend, for calling.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Anyway, carry on doing what you're doing. It's absolutely brilliant.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah, as you see, married to a Muslim is a very bad choice. Different religion, different culture, everything different. And they don't respect women. They don't.